how did you kind of come up about like finding the idea, coming about like the product, and what did Snow look like back then compared to what it looks like today?
Well, actually, this is where it started. I mean, it didn't look like this, but it was essentially the very same thing. It was close enough. And now we have sold well over 1 million units of this system, this teeth whitening kit. And it started from my own journey. I mean, I've been whitening my teeth since I was like 13, like when I started in business. And I'd go on eBay and buy these like black market strips and all kinds of stuff on there. But then I ended up with really sensitive teeth as a result of it, because I was just experimenting all the time on my smile for whitening. So, and I tried everything, dentist whitening, which boom, fast results, but I just had trouble with the sensitivity. So I kind of started to give up on whitening my teeth. But then going through jaw surgery, I wanted to take my branding experience, my marketing experience, and take it to the Olympics. I think building a brand in many ways is the Olympics of entrepreneurship. Inventing the product, I'm a patented inventor now. We have multiple awards across every product, the entire line. But in the very beginning, it's me, my laptop. I'm figuring out, I know oral care is big. I know it's nearly impossible to break into, which at that time was a big part of the allure. Like, can I play the game on extreme difficulty, blindfolded with my left hand? And it was just like, that is interesting to me. And I was seeking an intensity and a level of difficulty that would keep me focused and get me up in the morning. Because even at that age, I was, 22? I was 2 years out of college. I had sold a couple of the companies that I was running at the time. And, I was doing what every 22-year-old boy wants to do. And, I bought a Lamborghini, bought a Ferrari. And this is a kid with 10 cents and the city bus, right? So for me, I'm just like mind blown. But then sadly, I didn't know, like, I used to hear this all the time. Money doesn't buy happiness. I'm like, yeah, give it to me. It was just that was my response. They're like, I'd rather cry in my Ferrari. You don't want to cry in your Ferrari. It's much worse. It's much, much worse, because if you're at a level that you can afford that, where you should be able to feel comfortable, at least your shelter's covered, your food is covered, and you're crying in that Ferrari, there's something else going on. And so I just didn't know that. You don't know that until you get there. Yeah. And I think at 22, I started to, I actually was going through a bout of like depression. I didn't know what it was at the time, burnout. Which is really a form of depression. And that was my first real hit, because I went from sharing my entrepreneurship. I started at 13, 14. So for 7 years until I graduated, I was splitting school, which I was taking 22 credits a semester, with business and meeting clients and doing all this stuff. So it was the first time I could just go all in on business. And of course, that's what I did. So I went so hard for those years. And then I said, well, you got to sell a company. When you build something, you sell it. And so I sold the company. And now I'm like, okay, what do I do? Like, join a country club at 22? Like, do I just go learn golf? Like, I don't know what to do. So I became pretty depressed. And I realized that's when I started to do a lot of the inner work. And now I'm all about it. But back then I started a little bit. I said, all right, the pursuit of happiness is generally implied that there's some point that you get to, this euphoric point where you're just like, okay, I made it. I beat the final boss. It kind of sucks though, because once you beat the game, if you really love the game, or like you really love a series, and you just rush through the episodes, and there's only one season, but it's the best show you ever watched, it kind of sucks when you get to the end. And so you got to enjoy the middle, and that's why I say I got to pick a journey that's going to be very challenging and all of that. And so that first thing was building the teeth whitening kit. I wanted to bundle together the products where someone could get professional level results at home for a fraction of the cost, with taking sensitivity into mind. And the first people I knew were my oral surgeon doing my jaw surgery, my orthodontist, and my dentist. And I went to them and kind of told them what I wanted to work on, and they were extraordinary and very helpful and very fortunate, because they said, I'll test it, I'll share some stuff with you, and obviously on Google you can find everything. But that was the very first system, was teeth whitening kit, and then we invented the ability to plug it into the phone, and that's where things took off. And now that's one of our top selling units, millions of units sold.